Hello everyone, my name is Naz and I welcome to you in my channel Naz Parshala. So today I'm going to take one more interesting story, and through this English story you will learn tenses, vocabulary, pronunciation and how to do perfect reading. So without wasting time, let's start. Episode 23. Joe's fears. Jo was all alone with her parents after Beth had died. The days immediately after Beth's death were especially hard for Jo to bear. She was not able to sleep properly, and even if she slept, she would get up after some time. She used to imagine that Beth was calling her. The thought of being so lonely was disturbing her immensely. Her parents were now concerned about Jo and asked her to come to her if she felt sad and wanted to talk about Beth. Acting according to the need of the times, her parents advised her that she should go to visit Mag and stay there for some days for a change of mind. Jo couldn't help but agree. At Meg House, she felt better and well adjusted with her family. Jo played with Desi and Demi, and Meg was happy to see Jo forgetting Beth for some time. Marmee also asked Jo to write the one thing she enjoyed immensely. Jo told her that she could not write at that time, and if she would write, it would be a half hearted effort. But Marmee still asked her to put her thoughts on paper, which would help her to get over her pain. Some days later, she found Jo in her favorite place, sitting and writing. The writing soon got published. After some days, Marmee received a letter for Amy telling her about how Laurie had proposed her for marriage and how she had accepted. She wanted her mother to announce their engagement, but what Marmee feared about was Joe's reaction. Jo didn't look very happy when her mother told her about Amy and Laurie, but with time she accepted and she didn't want Laurie to be her life partner. So she approved of their match without any second thoughts, but her mother was not too sure that Jo was as pleased as she looked. She once again broached the topic with her, if she would accept Laurie's proposal if he asked her again. Jo replied at once that she didn't want anything like this to happen. She used to read Amy's letter and think of the extent of their happiness. Jo then sat in her attic and thought that on one hand, Beth had died, and even she was so lonely, while on the other hand, Meg and Amy were so happy. Once going throwing a book, she found a note from Mr. Bayer. She was reminded of the fun times she had spent in the New York City. She missed him and his company and blamed herself for not valuing him enough. Another day, while reading, sitting on her couch, Jo fell asleep and she was awakened by a kiss on her cheek. It was Laurie standing in front of her. She was happy to see him after such a long time. Jo inquired about Amy, and Laurie told her that they were already married and they wanted to surprise everybody. Laurie even requested Jo to forgive him for his childlike behavior and ask her to be friends with him again. Jo agreed that they would remain brothers and sisters all their lives and care for each other. Laurie even regretted not being there for Jo when Beth had died, but promised not to leave her alone in future. Then finally, Amy came in and met Jo, crying, hugging, and kissing her. Then everyone went to the parlor and blessed the new couple. Amy was glad to be home after 3 years. and said that she missed them very much. After the conversation over tea ended, everyone left and Jo sat in the parlor alone. She was thinking of her lonely existence when suddenly she heard a knock on the door. To her greatest surprise, she found Mr. Bahir standing in front of her. She welcomed him, unable to control her happiness at seeing him, and even could see her face and read her eyes. Mr. Bahir also noticed that she looked pale and asked about her health. She assured him that there was nothing serious, but it was just that her sister had passed away. Everyone in the house met Mr. Bahir, who was happy to see so much affection around him. Laurie was suspicious that he was Joe's close friend. Joe couldn't stop looking at him and thought he looked young and handsome in his black suit. Everyone talked a lot, and at last they ended the day with a singing session. Mr. Bahir finally asked for their leave and said that he was happy to meet them and would be in town for some business. Secretly, Joe knew what his business was and laughed and the thought. For watching. If you like my videos, please hit the bell icon for more updating videos. Like, share, comment and subscribe my channel Nas Parshala. Thank you, take care and be safe at home.